The law review at the time, at least, did not have affirmative action for women.
Oh.
So it had racial affirmative action, but did not have gender affirmative action.
And I'm pretty sure he's going to say that, you know what, and I'm glad they didn't, because I don't like those broads, those tootsies that be trying to come up in this law school, don't deserve to be here. These broads and dames, they need to go back and get in that kitchen and take those shoes off and put a bun in that oven, because they need to all be barefoot and pregnant. I'm sure that's what this white nationalist racist Ted Cruz is going to say, because if I would have just stopped watching Opie Cunningham's little presentation without listening and seeing all this stuff, I would have concluded that. Before we get into this video, make sure you hit like, share my videos, subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. Also, make sure that your notifications are on and they're set to all. Now, let's get into this. But first, quick commercial break. Now, this year is already whizzing by, huh? You're a year closer to retirement, but are your savings a year closer? If they're not and you're worried that you won't make it, get in touch with Noble Gold about putting precious metals in your IRA or 401k. You won't get hassled. They'll just lay out your options. And this month, they're gifting a 1/10 ounce solid gold American Eagle coin with any qualifying plan that you start. And all you got to do is call 877-646-5347, or you can visit noblegoldinvestments.com. That is noblegoldinvestments.com. Now, let's get to this video. But now that I watched the whole thing, let's see what he really said.
And I said, but what you're stating, which is a total load of crap, is you believe every woman on this law review doesn't deserve to be there, that you think men are inherently smarter. It's utter garbage, but you've shown why affirmative action is so pernicious. This is doing the same thing where whoever gets this nomination, and by the way, Kamala Harris is VP. I mean, Biden did the same thing for her.
Yeah.
And it really does, if you're explicitly setting up a discriminatory quota,
this is crazy.
It's unfair to everybody else, and it undermines whoever ends up getting named.
I'm perplexed. I'm flabbergasted. Discombobulated. So, the same Ted Cruz that this man said was evil, foul. He was a white nationalist, he's a racist, he's an animal, he's a pig, he's scum, he's trash. Why then would this man make that argument on behalf of women? Why would he defend the intelligence of women? Why would he throw himself in the category as a minority? Why would he do that? Why would he say, listen, man, how about you, which I'm sure at the time was a white liberal that he was debating with. He said, why don't I get my transcripts and put them next to yours, white man, who thinks the only reason I'm here is because of affirmative action, and see who's smarter. Because that arrogant statement is saying that you're not able to get here on the merits. And this is the whole argument that Ted Cruz has. But this white man don't care about that. See, because he's not seeing this. Opie Cunningham is not seeing it through those lenses. See, he think he's defending the honor of black men, women and black men, but not me. See, he would be shocked if he heard me argue against this. You're a traitor to your race. As I defend your race as a white man, because I know best for you black folks, just like I know that you wouldn't be here if it wasn't for us letting you come. See, now, run along, we got ya.
Looking to the audience like it's filled with people who are qualified to sit on the bench of the Supreme Court. Gross. This next clip maybe is worse than the first. Took place seconds later in the podcast. Watch this.
Here we go.
And it's just, it is an example how Democrats, and particularly the far left, everything is race, everything is that they will discriminate based on race, they will pigeonhole you, they don't care about the independent.
That's true.
The individual.
It is offensive if you're this woman who probably hasn't been selected yet, but this future black woman who's going to be the nominee. You are being told at the outset, you are a diversity hire. I am not picking you for your merits. I'm picking you for your skin and for your sex.
So to these two entitled dipshits.
Oh boy, here we go. Here we go. Entitled. Here we go. Now wait a minute. What's this Ted Cruz? Oh, Ted Cruz grew up in Texas. His father, Raphael, fled Cuba. What? Wait a minute. I thought he would have fled Alabama. I thought he fled Tennessee, man. Down in Texas with his big Bible. I thought he'd have fled somewhere from there. Being a white supremacist and all. But instead he fled Cuba after being tortured and imprisoned. That sounds pretty privileged to me. And came to Texas with what? $100. That don't sound too privileged. Interesting. So you're telling me that Ted Cruz, oh, look at those pictures of that privileged white man. Or is he not white? He looks, well, yeah. Okay. You got us. He's Cuban, but we can't tell y'all that because we just laid an argument out there, as Opie Cunningham did, that he's a privileged white man. Yeah, that doesn't match up. You see how I'm destroying the argument? When you are making a presentation that will assassinate people's character, undermine their argument, will attack their motive, all of that stuff. You need to back it up, man. You can't just say this dude's privileged and then you find out he's not. You can't say he's white supremacist and he hates black folks and all of this and he's Cuban. You can't say he hates women and then there's video footage that you omitted where he's defending the intelligence of women. You can't say he has a problem with black women and cut out the part where he says it's offensive to black women because it undermines their intelligence, their worth and accomplishments. You can't just do that unless you are manipulating your audience and trying to paint a negative picture. And this is how they fight. And that's why I'm here to expose this. And we're almost done as I get finished destroying Opie Cunningham in his late age. See, this ain't the young version of Opie. This is the older one. Here we go.
The fact that every pick, the wildly vast majority of picks on the Supreme Court have been white male, that's not obsession with race. That's just the default. That's the way it should be. And anything else out of the norm is offensive.
Opie Cunningham is talking about all these people and the majority in this and that. I just find it strange to me that they never take a second to see what party picked the most black Supreme Court justices. They never do that. I mean, hey, they weren't even allowing black folks into the Democrat Party until like the 50s or 60s, somewhere around, I don't know. It took them a long time. It took them to the point where they realized, hey, there could be a benefit in embracing these black folks instead of whipping them. Yeah, so instead of whipping them and forcing them to pick cotton, let's use them. Stick them on our cabinet and nominate the ones that are obedient to keep the other ones in check and keep them voting for us. And then you got guys like this who ignorantly come out there and help them indirectly. So now here he is talking about overwhelmingly. Now I'm wondering, of course, why not talk about the black folks that all the Democrats attacked because they didn't have the same ideology? Why not talk about all of the conservatives that Republicans nominated and picked?
Because if Biden said, I'm going to pick a white man, there would be crickets from conservatives all over the world.
Now you hear that statement? If Biden would have said, I'm going to pick a white man, there would be crickets. Now, first things first, Biden would never say that because see, Democrats are not going to say that because they major in identity politics. There's no benefit. There is no social divide that can be made by saying, I'm going to pick a white man. In fact, I find it ironic that they talk about white privilege and they always talk about white men and white women, and yet they're white. That right there blows my mind. Why didn't you give up your nomination to a black guy or something like that? Why didn't that dude out there, Gavin Newsom, say, I'm not going to contest Larry Elder because I understand I'm also white. I have white privilege, and Larry Elder is a black man, which qualifies him just because he's black to be the governor. So I will willfully surrender my white privilege, my title, my power, so that Larry Elder can be elevated. And yet they didn't do that. That is very interesting. Then he also assumes that there's an overwhelming amount of black folks that want to become the Supreme Court justice. I mean, when you just look at the percentage and the ratio of black, white, Latino, and all that stuff, you're less likely to get 50,000 black women who's saying, hey man, that's an ideal job for me. So just the numbers alone probably dwindles down some of your selection. That's just the law of, statistics right there. But he's not taking none of that in consideration because for him, the motivation is because conservatives don't like black women. Probably he's insinuating they don't like black men either.
The fact that he chose a black woman, or is going to choose a black woman, there is outrage. And then Lil Pencil Neck Michael Knowles is asserting that Joe Biden's just going to walk up to a bus stop and pick some random black lady with no legal qualifications whatsoever. It is beyond his comprehension that a black woman could be qualified. Could be highly qualified.
That's what it
could
is.
be the most qualified person for the bench.
Could be, huh?
There are thousands and thousands of women who are black, who are qualified to sit on the Supreme Court.
Gotcha.
And if Biden picks one of the thousands, it is an outrage to conservatives.
Why?
I'm not picking you for your merits. I'm picking you for your skin and your sex, Michael Knowles. So he's predicting that whoever it is that Joe Biden picks, whoever it may be, she won't be qualified. It's not for her merit that she's being picked. It's not for her brains, her intellect, her ability, her qualifications. It's not about that.
So if I'm understanding Opie Cunningham and his argument in this debate or guess or attack on Ted Cruz and Michael Knowles, as he called him, pencil neck, is he is predicting that whoever he picks will not be qualified. Okay? No, that's not what he's predicting. There's only one thing that he could predict and only one thing I can predict. And really, I don't have to predict it because Joe Biden also gave us the answer to it. No need to wonder. No need to sit back and scratch our dome and say, I wonder who he's going to pick. One thing we can predict is it will be a black woman. That's my whole point. If there's anything I would put all my chips on, if I had to bet, it wouldn't be whether she's going to be smart or intelligent. It would be, hey, whatever she is, she's a black woman. That's the only factor that you can predict. Other things, they're up in the air. We hope she's honest. We hope she's not an activist. We hope she's qualified. But yet we got Kamala Harris. Now, one thing we can predict with that is after the whole George Floyd situation popped off, Biden comes out, I'm going to appoint a black VP, woman, female. So you took away the curiosity, the anticipation, all of that stuff. We already knew. Oh, God. Well, here we go. Picking a black woman. Why do you think he's doing it? Because you think Joe Biden loves black women? You think Joe Biden supports black folks? You think the Democrat Party wants to see diversity and wants to elevate black women? Do you think they would surrender their power over to black folks that they cannot control? No. They picked them because they can't control them. And this idiot's talking about it's a threat to white men's power and stuff. No, they're protecting their own power along with manipulating the population to think that they wear the white hats and everything's about race and anybody who don't agree with this stuff is racist. And this idiot can't even see it. And he's calling the other people idiots as we close out with this Opie Cunningham dude.
The only reason Joe Biden is picking her is because of her skin color and her sex. And this is the quality and caliber that they have on the other side. This is it. It is no wonder that they are attacking our democracy when they don't have the brain matter necessary to start an argument, to begin to analyze.
How many twos we gonna get out of Opie? That's what I want to know. Don't have the brain matter. Listen here, two. This dude, whose argument that I just destroyed and showed that he is a political hack or maybe he's just brainwashed, radical, progressive, that left all of that overwhelming evidence from those. I didn't even use multiple clips. I mean, I just went to the video that he's using as a reference, Michael Knowles and Ted Cruz, to simply show that this guy has cherry-picked that whole interview. He's omitted a whole bunch of information. He left out all of the context clues, deductive reasoning. He didn't sit back and take in consideration, why would Ted Cruz be defending black women's intelligence? Why would he be saying there's an alternative scenario where I wouldn't even have a problem with this? He don't even take that in consideration, but yet he's saying that these dudes are dumb. He's saying folks that support this crap are idiots and dangerous. Now, this is a liberal tactic. See, I don't fear ignorant, dumb, bubblehead liberals. I don't fear them. I don't look at the stuff that they say is dangerous until it goes all the way to powerful people who use what they believe and their naivety and that manipulation and anger and hatred towards folks. And yet they say, because of these bubbleheads and the way they feel, we need to push legislation to do things to all of these folks that disagrees with us. I mean, by all means, they're ignorant. They're dumb. They lack brain matter. They're white nationalists. They're racist. They're sexist. Now, do you want people like that in your society? See, me, I can tolerate the idiots because I don't have to deal with them. But when the idiots are running the country and can use their power to destroy folks' lives and to shut down my rights, then I do have a problem with it. They cannot tolerate knowing that folks are walking around who don't agree with them. They're mad all the time unless everybody agrees with them. We don't care. Only time we care is when we start going, what? They're trying to push legislation for that stuff? They're trying to legislate stupidity? People like this get power? Do you think he's going to sit and listen to a Ted Cruz and their argument and a Michael Knowles and a Kev and all that? No, he's going to do what progressives do. Say, you know what? These people aren't a part of our society. They're not worthy. So we should be able to dismiss them and get rid of them. Let's close this.
The situation we have in our country. They ignore, not only do they ignore history, they are whipping their base into a frenzy to have them, as a matter of policy, ignore and not have history taught. This is where we are in America today.
Yeah. I mean, that guy you hear him, just rich, man. This is where we are in America. And they ignore history as he ignored the history of Joe Biden, who led the lynch mob against Clarence Thomas. It's funny how Democrats and progressives have short-term memories. All of those black folks and others that were mad when Trump was running and calling him a racist. And then all of a sudden, just totally forgave Joe Biden and everything that he said and did back then. Eulogizing Robert Byrd, getting up there talking about, I don't want my kids growing up in a racial jungle, pushing legislation to lock black folks. Donald Trump never did any of those things. Yeah, but yet they're so tolerant and forgiving when it comes down to the left. They forget all that history. They forget the history of Jim Crow as Joe Biden gets up there right now and talking about Jim Crow on steroids. But this idiot probably don't even remember that that was done solely by the Democrat Party. All those angry black folks is running around, racism, slavery, Jim Crow. Maxine Waters, who was in the party of those slave owners that she accused the Border Patrol of whipping those Haitians as worth of slavery. Her party was responsible for that. And that he's lecturing us on history. On riling up our base. Our base ain't running around hitting people with bike locks. Our base ain't running around busting in restaurants telling people, shame, shame, say Black Lives Matter. Our base is not burning down police stations, flipping cars, shooting people. Our base ain't running around mad for nothing. Our base isn't trying to force people to get vaccinations. Our base isn't trying to control speech, thoughts, censorship. Our base is not attacking civil liberties. Our base is not trying to remove the right to bear arms. And this idiot is talking about some riling up the base, brainwashing folks and forgetting history. The reason we oppose these idiots because we remember history. We know what happens when you start having this type of ideology and you push it into a society. And that's exactly why we're smarter than this Opie Cunningham dude.
It is not just sad and disgusting, gross.
I know you are, but what am I?
It is dangerous.
It's dangerous.
Because people watch this show and think, oh, a couple of smart fellas there. The clowns who patronize this show.
Yeah, they patronize
this show. They feel like they're being fed intellectual red meat. Oh, this is hearty stuff. And it's just a couple of dimwits.
So how do you explain me? Opie, somebody send this video to Opie. How do you explain me sitting here breaking down your garbage and disagreeing with it? Heck, I'm black. I should be all on board. Am I a sellout? Am I someone that go, you know what, man, I tell you, these conservatives has nothing to do with my values lining up with theirs. It has everything to do with they done brainwashed me somehow, and I'm sitting here supporting white nationalists and folks like that. Because I'm an idiot, right? It's meat they're feeding me. Red meat. I love that racism they be feeding me. Who is the rabid dogs out there? Is it conservatives? And surely, I know a guy like this, but J6, because he's brainwashed too, and he probably don't even question why the rest of that video footage is not being showed to everybody. He just buys into it. Yeah, it's all racist up there. See, I'm sure. It's because we are broad in our thinking. We're well educated. We do some research. We use deductive reasoning. We eliminate the emotions in these arguments instead of fall for this kind of crap. And we say, let's put the law first over our personal feelings. I will protect your rights just as I would defend my own, even though I totally disagree with you. But this guy is saying our disagreement is dangerous. And that's exactly why people like this should not have power. And he's saying we're the negative influence. So keep telling your audience that people like us are dangerous. Me, a black guy, I'm dangerous now. Isn't that racist? Because I'm a conservative, and I guess that since I've been eating that red meat of racism, then I'm dangerous. Nah, bruh. Yeah, somebody write this dude and say, did you call Kev from Kev's Corner a black man dangerous? Because he don't agree with white liberal policies. Interesting.
Trying to make racist arguments. Not trying to, they're making them.
That's right, because I'm racist, right?
In an effort to brainwash the base, to whip them into a frenzy of racial grievance. Your power's slipping away. Look, they're putting black ladies on the Supreme Court. What are we gonna do? What do you think, though? I would love to know. You can call, leave me a brief voicemail, 714-576-4054. Of course, you can email me daily at dollamore.com.
And if you choose so, there you go. And you can say, hey, why did you not present the rest of the story in your argument as you attacked Ted Cruz and Michael Knowles? Why did you omit all that information? Why didn't you use some deductive reasoning? Why in the world would you assume that all white men support these policies and have a problem with him going out there and saying, I'm nominating a black woman? How do you account for the black folks, the Latino folks? Why did you let your audience assume that Ted Cruz was just a regular white man? Why didn't you play that clip of Ted Cruz defending black women, or should I say women first, but he also defended black women. He gave an alternative argument. If you were to come out and say, here's my new pick, and they happen to be a black woman, you wouldn't hear any of this. If it was real racism, if it was motivated by race only, it wouldn't even matter if he just slung someone out there that happened to be black after saying, hey guys, I'm picking a qualified person. They wouldn't accept no black person, no black woman. They would solely say, well, we didn't know who he was going to pick, but now that we see it's a black woman, heck no. No, they would question that woman based on your qualifications, your ideology. Do you love the Constitution? Will you uphold the Constitution? It wouldn't be, hey, you know what? It's a black woman. Do you eat collard greens? Huh? As a black woman, I bet you like cornbread. I bet you know what? No, has nothing to do with that. Democrats play those games. And yet, how do you explain me? I thought I was black, y'all. See, once again, now I got to be all insecure about my blackness, man. You know what I'm saying? Walking down the street, see some girls alike to me, but I'm not high yellow. I'm black and I'm crispy, so all she do is diss me, 'cause I'm not high yellow. I'm getting my degree, but she'll never notice me, 'cause I'm not high yellow. I love my black skin, but he don't think it's him, 'cause I'm not high yellow. Thank you. I'll be playing here all week. So I hope you enjoyed the psychoanalyzation and breakdown in comparison between rational conservative thinking and the way we look at things and present arguments versus radical leftists and their approach through the lens of nothing but you know what? Race. And we will see y'all next time in Kevin's Corner as I serve up some more whoop tail on these dang on liberals. God bless you. God bless America. Don't forget to hit that like button, share my videos, find me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all those good things. And please check out Extreme Teas, my sponsor. If you like their products, please click on the link below this video. Put Kevin in a promo code. You'll get a 20% discount. If you'd like to donate to Kevin's Corner, feel free. The links are below this video. If you want to be a part of my $2 a month club, also feel free to do that. All it entails is you simply dropping $2 a month into one of those links below the video. Or if you want, you can drop a nice big fat lump sum in there to offset the stuff that we know goes on with Big Tech. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe. Make sure that you are still subscribed. And finally, set your notification button to all, because YouTube is playing games, y'all. Now, God bless you. God bless America. See y'all next time in Kevin's Corner.